fucking new nails.
I'm back, y'all. I'm back with a different type of video. This video is finna be a story time. I'm finna tell y'all my client horror stories, my pet peeves as a nail tech, and yeah, let's get into it. So actually, this video is just gonna be a background for the story time because when I was recording the art part, like me drawing, my hair kept getting in the way, so I had to cut a bunch of stuff out. So we're just gonna use this video as the background. Anyway, let me tell y'all my first client horror story, y'all. It shook me to the core, girl. It had me so shook and traumatized because I had just started. And well, at that point, I was already licensed. I already went to school, and I had already been doing some clients for a minute. And I actually was working at an actual Vietnamese nail shop. That's another story. But it was last year. At this point, I was doing nails for about, let's see, I started June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, so I had been doing nails for 6 months at that point. I was already out of school, whatever. I did this girl nails last year back in November, and let me tell y'all what happened. So at that time, I wasn't very strict on policies or anything because I'm like, okay, I'm just starting out. My prices were dirt cheap, and I knew my work wasn't the best, but I knew I wasn't trash either, okay? Don't play. So before this girl booked, I do remember that I was starting to make a couple of rules. And one of the rules was that you can't book a month in advance. So I was just doing it month by month because I didn't have that many clients. Anyway, so I didn't see why she even tried to book like a month, 2 months in advance, whatever. So she booked in advance, but I didn't catch it in time. So when her appointment actually got here, I remember seeing, y'all know, if y'all use the same booking link, y'all know once you change something and somebody already booked before you change it, the old stuff is going to stay on their appointment. So I was looking at her appointment and I was noticing that it was old rules, old like what's intake form questions. Everything was old. So I was like, okay, I know for a fact she booked this like 2 months in advance when she wasn't supposed to. Whatever. So she booked for a solid medium set coffin. Yes, that's all she booked for. So she comes in. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? She's like, hey. Now, immediately when she sat down, I got bad vibes from her. The energy was completely off. And when you do nails, well, even if you don't do nails, if you are a service provider and your client walks in, sometimes you can feel if the energy is off and if the appointment is going to go good or bad, child. Anyway, when she sat down, energy was off. And at the time, the location I was doing nails at wasn't the best. I'm not going to go into detail, but the location wasn't the best. But it was the location I was staying in at the time. So I was like, okay, whatever. It wasn't the shop or anything I was at. It was just that part of town attracted certain clients. Whatever. She sat down and she was like, I can't remember. No. I do. It was her birthday. She sat down. She was like, yes, it's my birthday. Da 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 da. And I said, and you're getting basic nails? Like, I didn't say it mean or anything, but I was like so surprised that she booked for a plain medium set and it was your birthday. Girl, first of all, my prices was like $30. So, you could have added some glitter or something. And I don't know if she heard me or not, but I don't know. Long story short, I did say, so you're getting a basic set and it's your birthday. And she just said, yeah. Now, she was talking more. She was kind of talking a little bit over me when I was saying that part, so I don't really think she understood what I was saying. Either way, she know what she booked for. Period. Don't even try to run out. So She's showing me this picture, y'all. She's showing me this picture. Now, when she's showing me the picture of what she wants, I was so confused because she booked for a plain set. And when she showed me the picture was so zoomed in that she was only showing me one nail. I don't know if she did that on purpose. I don't know if she didn't know that the picture was so zoomed in. I only saw one nail. And then the nail that I saw was like a solid white nail. So I was so confused. So she was like, the reason why I was confused is because she kept saying, I want this, but I want it pink. I want this, but I want it pink. So I'm like, huh? You showing me a solid white nail saying you want this, but you want it pink. That don't even make sense. Why even show me a picture if you just want solid pink nails? I was so confused. But I was just like, okay, because at the end of the day, you booked for a plain medium set. Cool, whatever. I said, so you just want pink? She was like, yeah. Mind you, oh, I'm sorry, let me explain this part. This is my 3 bead method from the side. So that's my first bead, my second bead, and then my cuticle bead. That's because I realized I never showed y'all what my side profile looks like of my nails. Anyway, back to the story. So, we pick a pink. We pick a pink. I'm doing her nails, whatever. Now, y'all, at this time, I was 6 months in, and you know how whenever you're starting something new, you kind of have to find your style. So at the time, I had changed my shape to tapered square. At first, I used to do coffin. I'm gonna insert a picture of the coffin I used to do. Round, skinny. If you do your coffin like this, I mean that's cool. That's your style. But I personally did not like it. So, mind you, she booked for a coffin. But instead of doing coffin, I was doing taper square because that's what I changed my policy to. That I do taper square now. And then, now, my taper square at the time wasn't the best. I'm going to insert a picture of what it looked like of me trying to, get into the groove of changing shapes completely. It wasn't the best, but as you can see, it's totally different from the coffin I used to do. And because she booked a month, 2 months in advance, she didn't see where I changed my policy to, well, not even my policy, but I changed my style to now that I do taper square instead of traditional coffin. And still to this day, I do taper square. I don't do traditional coffin. And I'm going to insert a picture of the taper square I do now. And even in this video, you can see that I do a tapered square. Well, the way I do my coffin, I leave the very tip of it boxy, and my sides are very straight. That's what I do. I don't do round anything, skinny anything, period. So that's how I was doing her shape, and I was putting solid pink acrylic on all of her nails, right? Okay, cool. So I put top coat. At this point, we were done. The conversation went good. The only thing I was kind of off about is when we were talking, she kept saying stuff like, yeah, people think I'm this, and that because I'm just straightforward, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, okay, girl. Like, during the appointment, she just, you know how some people just talk hard, like they not being mean or rude or anything, but they just talk hard, if that makes sense. So that's all it was. But the conversation was good all until I had top coated one hand. She has that hand in the light, and I'm top coating the other hand. Then she gonna say, are you gonna put designs on it? And I'm like, you wanted designs? You didn't book for any designs. And whenever you go and book an appointment with somebody, after you book the general service, it's going to be a drop down menu, and it's going to ask you if you want to add to your appointment. And it's going to be different types of stuff you can add: glitter, crystals, foil, anything. So she disregarded that whole drop down bar and completed the appointment without adding on anything. So I'm like, you didn't add on anything. It's just, you just booked for a basic set. So then she was like, okay. And the way she said okay was like, she knew for a fact she booked for a basic set, and she tried to run out on me. And she couldn't say nothing else because she know for a fact that she booked for a basic set. She thought I was gonna give in and just throw some stuff on her nails for free. No, ma'am, that's not what's gonna happen. So I finished her nails, whatever. She got real quiet after that. I didn't care, whatever. She left, and at this time I was doing my next client. And while I was doing my next client, my phone kept blowing up, y'all. And I'm like, what is going on? And at the time, I was giving out my number because I used to just send out confirmations like, hey, just a reminder that your appointment is tomorrow. If you need help with the location, just call me, whatever. This is exactly why I don't give out my number no more, because this girl was blowing me up. And long story short, she was like, oh, I just don't appreciate how you didn't ask me if I wanted designs. These are my birthday nails. These nails not even coughing. They are so ugly. What else she was saying? I showed you a picture and everything. You did not do with the picture. You did not do the designs in the picture. Pretty much she was going off saying how I should have asked her if she wanted designs. Y'all, when I tell you I was so shooketh, I was so shook because at the time I was only doing 6 months in, and I've never had anybody just blow up on me. And I was just like, what is going on? She killed me when she was like, these are so ugly. Because first of all, ma'am, you saw my work before you booked your appointment with me, and the only thing was different was the shape. And um if you wouldn't have booked when you wasn't supposed to 2 months in advance, you would have known that I changed my style. So yeah, she was pretty much going off, y'all. And I was talking to my next client, and I was so upset. I was so distracted because I honestly didn't know what to do. I wish I had the messages still, but girl, I deleted them the same day because period. No, I did not want to keep that negativity in my phone. But whew, after that, I was going back and forth with her for a little bit. I was being professional. I was just like, well, you didn't book for any designs, so how am I supposed to assume you want designs? And then also, if you would have told me you wanted designs before we even started, we could have did that, but you didn't. And I even told you, oh, these are your birthday nails and you getting basic nails, and you said yeah. So I have nothing else to say to you. After that, I banned her, and I just moved on. Like, I'm so glad that she didn't try to come back and try to fight or anything like that, because y'all know people are crazy like that. And yeah, that one so far has been my only just client horror story. She still paid me, cause period, I still got my money. She just walked out with a basic set for her birthday, and I don't care. And she was saying how, oh, now I gotta try to find somebody to fix my nails. These are so ugly. I wish I had a picture of the nails I did on her. Y'all, they were not ugly. They was just tapered square, and they were just a solid color. Oh well. And actually, the picture I'm putting in as far as me starting off doing my taper square, they were actually similar to those nails. So, I mean, I know they weren't the best, but they were not ugly, girl. Don't run out. So yeah, that has been my only just client horror story for real. I had another client that kind of did the same thing recently, where she booked for a basic set. This is exactly why I don't do basic sets no more, because girl, no, why come to a nail tech, no, excuse me, why come to an artist wanting a basic set? No, why book a basic set, but when you sit down in the chair, you want all of these designs? No, ma'am. So this girl, she booked a basic set, and she came and she ended up showing me a picture of marble ombre. And I was telling her, like, first off, does anything about this picture look basic to you? And on my website, I have examples by the service type. So she knew that that was not what she booked for. So I gave her exactly what she booked for. Um, But the gag is, I didn't even finish because she asked me, "Are you gonna do it like the picture?" I'm like, "No, I told you before I started that that is not what you booked for." And once I was going over the colors, I told you, like we was going over colors for a long time. Like, okay, you want this finger like this, you want this finger like this, and I pretty much gave her two design nails, but the rest of them was solid. But she wanted all of them designs. I'm like, no, ma'am, that's not gonna happen because for one, these are two different like service times. This one's gonna take longer than this one. So I didn't even finish doing her nails before she got up and was talking crazy. And I was like, yeah, you might want to leave. Cause period. I'm not finna fight you over some nails that you messed up on. Like, girl, no. But after that, like I banned her too. Period. It ain't nothing to ban nobody for me. Um, yeah, other than those two right there, I haven't really had any horror stories for real. Um, that girl, she was just the second girl, she was talking reckless, like, oh, you're not the only nail tech in the city, but you booked with me. Oh, okay. It'd be so funny how they be talking crazy, but baby, you booked with me. Don't try to switch up now because you're not getting your way, because you're trying to get over on me. Not gonna happen. So yeah, those two were the only just client horror stories I had, and they pretty much booked for one thing, wanted another thing, and I wasn't going for it, and they got upset. And I don't care. One thing about me and what I've learned is to stick by your policy no matter what. Now, some of my regulars, I do kind of bend the rules a little bit, but not too much because when people start getting too comfortable, that's when your business start falling apart. So you got to be strict. You don't have to be mean or anything, but you have to be strict on your policy or these people will run all over you. And yeah, I'm so glad that a lot of my clients was like, "Oh no, you're a little bit too nice. You're gonna have to put your foot down and stuff like that." And I'm like, "You're right." Period. So all of that being 30 minutes late, no ma'am. Booking one thing and trying to get something else, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. I am very strict. I will send you home. I will send your deposit back to not even deal with you, period. No. So yeah. Now as far as like pet peeves when doing nails is booking one thing and trying to come and get something else. That is my biggest pet peeve because with my two little client horror stories, that has been the case. Booking one thing and trying to get something else. And I tell my people all the time. And then I shouldn't even have to tell them because my website is very detailed. Everything has a description, everything has example pictures. Now, if you are confused, all you have to do is just DM me. But one thing I don't allow is when people be like, oh, I just booked something because I didn't want nobody else to get the spot. Excuse me? Come again? You just did what? But yeah, y'all. I'm so glad that I really haven't had any bad client horror stories. And I think it's because I got more strict on my policy. And that's the reason why. So take this as a sign, lay out some ground rules, and don't let nobody bend them, period. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of my little rant, my story time, my client horror story. These nails were so fun to do, even though they take a long time to do. They are super cute and super worth it in the end. And I use the same products every time, y'all. So yeah. These are so cute. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And then down below, tell me your client horror stories.